Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Code with Chaz. Today we're going to talk about something very critical, which is always to upgrade your .NET version to latest one. So today I'm going to look at and show you how exactly you can do this. You can see here we have a list of .NET versions and their end of support dates. You can see .NET 7 and the support date was 2024. We have the two versions now, .NET 8 and 9, but it's very critical you always upgrade your .NET to latest version. So upgrading .NET latest version always have huge benefits. For example, you're gonna have a lot of performance gains. You're gonna have faster startups. You're gonna have better memory usage and improved async handling. You have to be very critical about your security updates. Make sure your app is safe and you patch the critical updates. There are no vulnerable packages in your application. So I'm going to show you in just a few minutes how to upgrade your .NET version to this one. And it's going to be safer, faster, and future-proof. And I promise it's not going to be difficult. It's going to be much easier than you think. So let's jump into it. So let's start with the coding part. I'm going to build a small application, which will be a CSV to SQL importer. It's a very small console application that will show you how to take the CSV file and import the data to SQL Server. So I'm gonna be creating. So database already created. I have it's called CSV demo DB, and you can see I have one table, DB a person, just with only three fields: first name, last name, and age. And you can see here the ID is a primary key, and we have this is set as an identity, and this is our table. So let's start creating the application now. So first I'm going to open the terminal, and inside terminal you can see I'm in the projects folder. I'm going to create a directory .NET upgrade demo, and let's seed into this directory. Now I'm going to get a new directory, CSV to SQL importer, and you can see I'm inside this one. If you do pwd, you can see, okay, let me, so I'm going to cd into this, and you can see that I'm in the directory now. So let's open the code, Visual Studio Code. So once the code is open, I'm going to be creating the new application. So our code is open, and you can see I'm inside the CSV folder. So let's go to the terminal, and I'm going to create a new terminal, and you can see, let me close this one. So in the terminal, you can see I am in, it's taking some time to load. Let me close this chat. So I go pwd, and you can see I'm inside the folder. So I'm going to create a new .NET 8 console application. I'm going to type the command here. I'm going to use framework .NET 8. It doesn't matter which framework, 6, 7, but the idea is the same. You basically need to upgrade your application to the latest one. So you can see that .NET 8 console application is created. You can see here I have the project folder and I have program folder, program file. So let's install some packages we need, because I'm going to be using Entity Framework Core and some configuration. I'm going to be basically creating my connection string. So let's first, so I'm going to add a package and recon framework, and be framework core, and it's going to be version 8. And next one is going to be SQL Server. So after that, I need a couple of configuration packages. So you can see I'm going to be adding configuration, extension configuration, and the last one is going to be configuration JSON, so we can read the JSON file, which will be our JSON config file. So all my packages are created. If you go back to the CS project, you can see that I have it's a .NET 8 project, and I have 4 packages already created. So let's create our JSON file. So for example, app setting file. So I'm going to come here and create, sorry, not this one, but delete this, create a file, app setting file, and I'm going to here paste my connection string. So connection string, basically this is my server, and the DB is CSV demo DB, and it's going to be integrated security. I'm not going to use username password. So the next step, let's create two folders here. One is going to be called models. It's going to hold our entities. And the other one is going to be a data folder, which will hold our DB context. So inside the model, let me create a class called person. So let's see here. I'm going to create person.cs. This is a person class. I have I have an ID per first name, last name, age, exactly the same thing as the same entities we had in the DB. So next we're going to create our DB context class. So here I'm going to be adding my DB context. Let's call it app DB context inside the data folder. I'm going to call it .cs, and I'm just going to copy and paste the code I already did. So basically it's a app DB context, which is implementing a DB context class, and you can see that it's coming from entity framework core, and it's asking me to do something. It's let's see what it wants to do. Okay, I think it's basically I think here it's asking me to do something. So okay, we can use primary constructor. Basically, it's a shorter version of passing in your DB context. So our DB context is done and our model is done. So I'm in my program class. Let me paste the code. So you can see the code is already I have written. So basically what we're doing is that we are doing a configuration builder, and then we are taking the config variable and we're reading the app setting file, and then here we're just making sure it gets built, and then the next option is we're building the AppDB context. You can see here this is the default connection string I'm using, and here I'm just basically copying, making sure database exists, and calling the AppDB context. And here I'm basically using the sample CSV file and reading all the lines, and you can see it's line by line, and if I'm starting by the comma, and then in the end we just basically inserting the data to the context and then saving changes. Very simple code, nothing complicated. So let me do something. Let me copy the CSV file here. That was, I think it was in this folder demo. Let me put it back. So we have to put this in the root folder. So my sample CSV is there, and you can see it's here. Okay, now let's run this project. Everything on our side is done. So let me come to this and let me clear everything up, and let's start building our project. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to say .NET build. So basically it's going to build the project. And so our build was done, but you can see we got a few warnings here. Basically the warning mean that uh, our CS project specified that we have the minimum version equal to 8.03, but our .NET feed no longer has the exact version cached for my environment. Basically, so you have to have an SDK that defaults to .NET 9 compatible version. So that's the reason, because I have .NET 9 installed, but it's basically saying that it found the 803 and then try to resolve it. The latest one, so the closest one I got was 9. So try to resolve it to the closest highest version. So let's once we upgrade this, you'll see that this warning is gone. So let me just run the application now. .NET run, and then you can see that our warning is still there, but you can see that let's see if it's coming. So our application is running successfully. You can see, let me go to the database and then see how many. So you can see we got all 3 rows back. So you can see we got all the 3 rows inserted. So this is our project. Let me clear everything. So now let's see how we can upgrade this to .NET 9. So it's very simple. So let's go to the okay, let's go. First step is go to the project and let's convert this to .NET 8 to 9. So first step to upgrade would be our CS project file, and make sure instead of .NET 8 you mentioned .NET 9. You update to .NET 9, and then we have to all our packages we have to upgrade to the latest version. So let's go back to the terminal, and let me see. Let me make sure I'm in the same folder. So now I'm just going to be issuing one command and see if we have any outdated packages. So run this command, .NET list package is outdated, and you can see it tells me that I have these packages requested latest version 9.0.8. So it means these need to be updated. So let me copy the commands and we're going to update to the latest version. So now I'm updating the editing framework to the latest version 908. And you can see here, once I run the command and update it, you can see right away the package here upgrades to the latest version. So let me do another all of them one by one. And you can see here sub also doing it. You can also do, you can go to the NuGet and you can also do from there. If you go to the NuGet and you search for the Entity Framework core, let's say you search for this one. You can also do from here. You can just make sure the pre-release, you can just uncheck it. You don't want to install the pre-release versions. And you can see the latest version is 9.0.8. You can also do it from here. You select it and then you click on this and it will be installed. But I prefer terminal because it's much easier and faster and easy to maintain and manage. Okay, so I got, let me do the rest of them. So the next one is going to be the extension configuration version, and then the last one would be the JSON version. So yeah, I can see one by one, my packages are being upgraded, and this is the last one. So let's see. So you can see now that all my packages are upgraded to 9 version, and my project is also running .NET 9 version now. So let me clear everything up and let's try to build and run this again. Let me just make sure that my table is truncated so that we have the fresh data. So I'm going to issue a command .NET restore so that it restores all the packages, and then you say .NET build. Let's make sure everything is built without any issues. And you can see here, this time we did not get any warnings. Before we were getting some warnings about the compatibility. So let's now run .NET run. And you can see that once I run it, it's run successfully. Let's go back to our table and we have the data available here. Now let's issue that command again that was with the outdated version. That's this one. And let's see what we get now. And you can see we did not get any warnings, any issues, because we are using has no updates given the current sources. So you can see that our project console application has been upgraded from .NET 8 to .NET 9. If you're running .NET 7 or 6 with the same process to .NET 9, you can follow the similar process. And that's it. We look at the .NET 8 console application and we upgraded to .NET 9. And you can see that it was done all with zero code changes, without any challenges. And basically you can get a lot of different benefits from it. And if you are still waiting to do it or you are holding on to do it, go ahead and do it and don't put it off, and you go ahead and say it's easier than you think. So if you found this helpful, please hit like and subscribe to my channel and wait for our next video. Thanks for watching.